what the German desk is all about is trying to provide financing for German companies, for subsidiaries of German companies and the clients of German companies here in this country. Because we have found out that there's a missing link. And especially for small volumes, there is no trade financing available because the large banks in Germany, they do not care. And the local banks, always, they are a little bit hesitating because for them, clients coming from Europe are new clients. Huh? And this is why the German desk is all about having also a relation manager who is acting as a scout through the system of the banks, but also in Germany. So redirecting much more businesses to Nigeria. Why Nigeria? Because the first we have opened in Nairobi, and the second is here in Nigeria, because we would like to be present in East Africa, but also in West Africa. And we have chosen Nigeria because we see that there is a lot of business opportunities for the German companies. And why now? Because within the G20, Germany has succeeded to bring Africa once again to the radar of the G20. And the focus is now what we can do more in order to help the private sector to grow and strengthening the relationships, not only in terms of trade, but also in terms of investment opportunities between Germany and Nigeria. This is what we are trying to do with the German desk.
From the brief introduction that I have been exposed to about the offerings, I see that there is a bias or a focus on SMEs in Nigeria. Why SMEs?
No, because we in Germany, we believe very much in SMEs, because SMEs in Germany are the backbone of the economy. This is the most innovative segment. This is the most creative segment. This is the segment that exports a lot, and they are creating jobs. And Africa needs jobs, and we would like to strengthen SMEs so that SMEs can produce more jobs for the better life here in Africa.
Of all the plethora of banks to choose from in Nigeria, what informed your choice to work with Access Bank on this offering?
That was, we have asked a lot of banks whether they consider to invest. And because they have to invest in order to provide services to a new segment of clients they have not so far worked with. So it was the courage of Access Bank to decide, yes, they will do it. And we are extremely happy about that. And I think what helped also very much that they have a broad network, not only here in Nigeria, but also in other West African countries, so that they can also offer much more services beyond simply Nigeria.
In the last few hours, we have seen a report come out to measure the trade relations between Nigeria and Germany, specifically saying that in the space of 1 year, between 2015 and 2016, we saw figures come down from 6 billion euros to 3.5 billion euros. To what extent would you say the creation of a German desk will maybe influence inflows of FDI into Nigeria?
We hope very much, because first of all, there's a lack of information. Whenever we talk with German companies, there's not so much information about the potential and the opportunities in Africa. And this is why also FDIs are not forthcoming, because still the image of Africa is rather negative, saying Africa is a continent full of risk. No, Africa is also a continent full of opportunities, and this is why we also hope very much that the German desk will help to change the mindset of the people, change the image of Africa. And trade is a result of this kind of relationship. If people better understand that there are business opportunities, then they will start coming, and they will starting with trade. And over the time, then they will be more acquainted with the country, and they decide to invest. This is what we have seen, and we hope very much that with the small German desk, we can do a small contribution.
So let's get to the specifics now. What nature of customers are we looking out for, and what nature of financial support or solutions should such customers be looking to get from the German desk?
So they are broad. That there are For example, today we have spoken with a lot of companies. They are trying to sell their products here in Nigeria, but they have difficulties to find a suitable financing. Their clients have difficulties to find suitable solutions and financial support. So bringing them together and with the good services of the Access Bank can be of help. What kind of products they will sell? That starts from usual normal banking services up to support, because it's not only financial support but also services, so that we can also trying to figure out what needs to be done else. For example, when companies decide to invest here, they really don't know what they have to do, what kind of licenses they need, what kind of permits they need, etc., where they can get good legal advice, etc., etc. So this is also what we are trying to achieve through the German desk, so that the people have a one-stop shop. And this is why we are working together very closely with the German Chamber of Commerce, because usually German companies, they are going to the German Chamber of Commerce and then asking for help, and then they can then redirect people who are looking for financial solution to Access Bank.
It's one thing to have a vision and a plan to make offerings to facilitate trade between and among countries, like you mentioned. In the course of your preliminary investigation, which I believe that you must have done, have you come across any roadblocks or challenges that you think may get in the way of successful implementation of the offerings that you have in line?
No, so far not. And this is now the third German desk we are opening, and so far we have seen that is a tremendous success, because we have provided something as a solution which was not available yet. And from a development point of view, I think it's always very useful to use domestic resources which are available. Also, so bringing together the bank with new clients would also help the bank to expand to a new client segment, also diversify the services. And I hope very much that also this interconnection with a new class of client will help then also the bank to develop new innovative products, because the clients, a completely new set of clients, might ask for completely new products which are not yet at offer.